Hey everyone, Thatch here. Welcome to another episode of the PUClpodcast. We're excited to bring you another top 5, bottom 5, where we talk everything about regional Pokemon, regional forms, whether that be from Galar, Alola, Hisui, Paldea. There's a little bit of discussion about whether or not there's going to be new ones. So definitely listen up if you're interested, and we have a good time. Of course, Poke Quiz is there and everything else. And if you haven't already, please take the time to fill out our survey. It helps us update the show and helps make it better. So please do it. If you do it by July 16th and we get 250 responses, which we're over halfway there, if you can go ahead and do that, we will give away a copy of Pokemon Legends ZA. But with that though, guys, I'm Trainer Thatch and I want to get you right on to the show.
And now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, Puckle Podcast.
It's Puckle! Puckle! It's Puckle! Puckle! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! Puckle! Puckle.
Welcome to another episode of the PUClpodcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my wonderful co-host. We've got the one and only sassy, as always, Sublimemanic.
That's me.
And we've got the boisterous and opinionated Lord Jushiro.
Some say. Hi.
Yeah, welcome to the PUClpodcast. PUCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, where we talk everything Pokemon from the trading card game to the video game to everything in between. Definitely everything in between. But I would talk more about what I did in Pokemon this week, but I haven't actually done that much because I was traveling for work. And I literally just walked in my door from travel. So
Quite literally, yeah.
Quite literally,
quite
guys.
literally, actually. Yeah.
He's for real. 30 minutes ago, he was on a plane. Not exaggerating.
I actually was, though. I actually was, though. As of recording, I was on a plane about 30 minutes ago. I was texting these guys. I'm like, man, my flight, we had a scheduled recording time, and I was going to be home comfortably if my plane was on time, which was a mistake. And I knew, oh yeah, I can just get there, around, instead I'll be like an hour late and it'll be fine. But instead the flight ended up being delayed about like 2 hours or something like that. It was pretty ridiculous. So I hate traveling in the evening. I usually travel in the morning, and for some reason I thought I should travel in the evening this time, and it just didn't work out. But I'm glad we're here now. Have you guys done anything interesting recently? You guys haven't been on the show nearly as often as I have, so maybe you have newer things to talk about.
Well, I've been opening the new EV boosters in Pokemon Pocket.
Oh, how's that going?
Enough for a 10.
I mean, it's a fine. It's a set for the pictures. They're really pretty cards.
Oh,
Okay.
The HOW supporter is pretty good though.
Yeah, the HOW is pretty good.
What does the HOW do? I'm not a TCG Pocket guy.
Extra damage when you're attacking with Primarina, Decidueye, or Incineroar EX.
Oh, that's really cool, actually. I'm a fan.
Some of those are pretty good. Like Incineroar is pretty solid. Decidueye can be solid. The Primarina is new, so I'm not sure where it's going to settle. But the other two are definitely good.
I really like that in TCG Pocket that they'll have these cards that are like, this helps these Pokemon with these names.
Yes.
And it's something that
that's
like
how they did all the gym leaders and Elite Four characters. They have abilities specific for Pokemon, and Pokemon they use, of course. So it does give it like it's pretty cool.
We love Sabrina.
Oh yeah, Sabrina's awesome.
It does try. I mean, it's really cool because it tries something that the regular TCG tries. Like I think of like the gym leader set, right? From way back in the day, but also more recently, like the trainers Pokemon we've gotten.
More recently, exactly.
Yeah. And it usually kind of fails. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like nobody wants to do it.
Right.
Yeah. It usually kind of falls flat on its face, and not a lot of people use it. But I do think
niche.
It is niche. I think it's okay. Like some of them are okay, not all of them, but like some of them are fine. But I think Pocket does it much better. And it's probably because of the lower, like the more limited card pool it has compared to everything else.
Yeah. And they so far they've Yeah, they've maintained a quick tide on damage and HP. It hasn't escalated to the levels of the regular TCG, so that makes more cards a little bit more viable. So that little boost that those supporter cards give makes them somewhat playable.
It is pretty healthy, I will say that.
Yeah, I think it has more to do with maybe not like maybe the word isn't like the HP problem, but I think honestly like the way they handle weakness is much healthier. Honestly, Pokemon TCG tried it for a hot minute. Actually, if people remember, like they did just like a plus for a hot minute. Like I think it was in like the Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald era.
I do barely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's because nobody played back then. That's why all those cards are really expensive. But yeah, they tried it, and I think that is honestly at this point healthier for the game than just like a flat ×2 weakness, because a ×2 weakness can make a deck very oppressive. Like a deck that could otherwise counter it can't counter it, because if you have the weakness,
and then you start slotting in counters that do perfect math for no other reason than type matchups.
Yeah, I mean, I think of this is gonna. I feel bad because this is like an old strategy now in the TCG, but I'm like, oh, I just got back into it. But you can't even play this right now. But Fusion Strike Mew VMAX was very dominant for a very long time in the TCG, pretty much until it were rotated out. And so they came out with this card that was called Drapion V, and its ability pretty much like prevented Mew from doing anything, or it was hard counter to Mew because it's a dark type, because poison types is the dark type in the TCG, so it does super effective to Mew VMAX. And his attack said, for as many Pokemon V as there are in play, this attack costs 1 colorless less, and the only attack it had was a 4 colorless attack that did 100 and I believe it was 170 damage or something like that. No, it was 160 damage, because the ×2 would do 320, which was the Mew VMAX's HP.
Yeah. I mean, the Pocket TCG has had to have some curve straightening, because that Giratina EX and Darkrai EX
still
deck,
the best card. That Giratina is still probably the best card they've printed.
They've had to put cards to be able to tone it down, such as I forgot the cheerleader bird. What's its name?
Oricorio.
Oricorio Electric that makes it immune to EX, really and good. Now there's other cards with like that specifically targets basic EXs or just basic Pokemon, because it's the same old problem. When you have EXs, it kind of makes evolution kind of like, what's the point? If I can have a card that is OP from the get-go, why should I build a deck around evolution if it's just gonna delay me? Pocket still suffers a little bit from that, way less, I would say, than regular TCGs. At least back in my
Once
day.
They added rare candy, it got better.
It got a little bit better.
There was
it's still
Giratina
still
rare
oppressive.
Candy, and that was like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of wild to me that they never
Not
had
even
it.
An option.
Because like even the OG TCG, had rare candy. It wasn't called rare candy back then. It was called Pokemon Breeder, but.
Yes, it was.
Right.
It was the same exact card.
The very OG. Yeah, I remember.
It was just rare candy.
Yeah, it was.
It was
but
just
once
candy.
they added rare candy, stage 2 started being like more useful.
Yeah, more useful.
Plus, they've got some pretty good supporters.
Not equal still, but way more useful than better than before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's.
And
I mean, that's cool.
Been up to.
No, you guys have been playing TCG Pocket. More TCG Pocket content.
I would be playing something on my Switch if they would release a game already.
October 13th. Actually, honestly, like Donkey Kong comes out like in a couple weeks.
I literally haven't even bought one yet because I'm like, for what?
There's no reason to. I don't.
On it. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about the Switch 2. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even worry about a Switch 2 until, like, honestly, even then, like for Pokemon Legends EA, it depends on the performance improvements. Like the performance improvements you get from Scarlet and Violet are phenomenal. Like they're
what
great.
I heard. Yeah. I saw some YouTube video saying like
it's a completely different game.
Another game. Yeah.
It is. It's like a completely different game because it works, and you're not just like, I gotta play this because I like Pokemon. And it honestly like makes me go like, I probably shouldn't have said this was like an acceptable play experience. To be fair, I don't think I did when it came out. But it was definitely rough on the original Switch, and it is it's the game they should have released 3 years ago now on the Switch 2.
Yeah.
It's a much better experience. If they would have released the Switch 2 version, I think everything would be fine. And I'm kind of hoping that this year off that they took kind of let them cook.
Sold, it still went fine.
Yeah.
In corporate speak, at least.
Quite literally too big to fail, but we all
Yeah, honestly though, yeah. You're
they
not
knew
wrong.
what they were doing. The executives, knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it. We're gonna kick it on over then to the news because there's some news to talk about. So let's go ahead and kick it on over to that. Welcome to the news. In the news, we've got a couple of things to talk about. First and foremost, there's going to be new episodes of Horizons have dropped over on Netflix for those of you in the US. And I love the tweet because mischievous Tatsugiri and a stampeding Perigraph. What else will our heroes encounter on their way to Kitakami and beyond? So yeah, it's wow, so exciting. I will definitely make sure that I have a chance to watch that. I'm honestly like super behind on the anime.
It's good though.
I know it is really, it's better than I think it was. I think they just with Ash they got like super comfortable and they felt really boxed
Ash
in.
One bit.
No,
and I'm captain Pikachu over Pikachu all
I haven't
day.
missed Ash, but you know what? I have missed Team Rocket.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes. I really just want one episode where it's just like Team Rocket's in the background or something, trying to do something ridiculous. I think that would be hilarious.
Just show him Meowth hosting an event,
Yeah,
whatever.
I think that would be silly.
Yeah,
I think that would be good.
I don't even remember who are the bad guys on.
It's some I don't remember. It's fine. It's
some weird organization.
The Edgelord with the Serral Edge, right? Like
the Serral Edgelord, yeah.
Right. Yeah. They look like the Serral Edgelord.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Now I remember now. They look like they're villains from Bleach or something like that. They're weird.
Yeah. Moving on though, in very important news, Pokemon Cafe Remix turned 5 years old this year. So if you like your little puzzle game, you can go check out Cafe Remix. I think there's going to be some events as well that drop at the same time if you play that game. I don't know enough because I don't have enough time to dive into everything that Pokemon does. And but I do. I mean, it's fine if you like the puzzle game. That's fine. I really do miss like Pokemon Shuffle and Pokemon Trozei though. Like those, I think
I do too. Actually, I was just thinking about that. I have fun memories of Trozei.
Mm-hmm.
So I do.
Those are both very, very good. All right. Well, our next piece of news goes to Sublime, I believe.
Yeah, get that Scurvy or Scarlet and Violet. I like to call it Scurvy.
Scurvy. Scurvy.
Yeah. Start of the 2026 season has been announced, and the first North American regionals are going to be in Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, and Las Vegas. Also,
cool. Oh wow, Las Vegas. Wow,
that's I wonder where actually. That's intriguing.
Vegas is okay. So the events have been getting like unreasonably large, and so they might be going to like real big event spaces. Like I imagine they might be going somewhere similar to like where the Magic Grand Prix in like 2015 was held.
Bay.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be a really big event center though.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, it's going to be a huge event.
Regionals at Mandalay Bay. Oh, that's.
Isn't the big Vegas like giant ball thing? Isn't that like a convention center as well or something?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
As a Pokeball,
I thought it was a concert venue.
That could still happen.
Be so good.
They could still do the Pokeball.
That would be amazing.
Should. That's such a good idea.
They probably will. Like honestly, the chances of them doing it, I think, are higher than the chances of them not doing it.
Right.
Yeah,
it's right there.
Yeah, it's perfect shape. Yeah.
That's my opinion on that. So yeah, but that is exciting for those of you who want to watch the regionals. They will be.
VGC starts in September.
Yeah, it does. It starts in September.
I guess this is the European Union International Challenge. Will be Valentine's Day weekend in London.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's way out. You got lots of time to plan.
Yeah.
In Go news. Oh my gosh, this just all makes me feel so old. the 9th anniversary.
Oh my gosh, it's the 9th anniversary.
I know.
Wow. Okay, continue.
It runs July 1st through July 6th, so probably right now if you're listening to this the week of.
Mm-hmm.
And adds shiny Gimmighoul to the game.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And also, yeah. Next weekend is the repeat event for EV Community Day, and then Quaxley will be in July.
Yeah, Eevee's coming back.
Keep it busy.
They have 2 community days a month now, right? Because they have Community Day Classic and like Community Day, whatever. Also with the EV, important to note that there's always a time research, but then there's also like you can actually get evolutions faster. You can evolve Eevee into Espeon with only 1 kilometer. And same with Umbreon, just 1 kilometer required to get him to evolve into those.
Nice.
And you can evolve Eevee into Sylveon with only 7 hearts instead of which you can get by just like feeding it a Poffin if you have one of those sitting around.
Yeah.
And then Eevee will also appear more frequently in the wild, obviously. So there could be some shiny Eevees this weekend. So definitely check it out. I love that they do it on both days. They're doing it on both days because it's so many Eevees. That's what they did the last Eevee Community Day as well. And then Quaxley, of course, is coming. All right, so I think we're on to Jushiro.
Yes, because we started the TCG, and for all of you that were questioning what could be the next set TCG set called Mega Evolution be about, we're here to clarify that question. It's about Mega Evolutions.
Who would have thought?
I mean, straight to the point. Besides Mega Gardevoir and Lucario that we knew about, we're also going to get Megas for Latias and Venusaur. Lily is getting a new supporter that lets you shuffle away your hand and draw 6 or 8 if you're taking no prizes. And then the full art item are also going to be in the set. We're set for more news on July 10th. So by next week, we'll know more.
Yeah. And then you have some championship series stuff next, right?
Yeah, the rules for
the rule update's really weird.
It is. So the rules for extra time will be changed for next season. Now each player will only have 1 turn to wrap up the game, or they'll get the game to be a draw. The extra turn will also be on a 10-minute timer. That is kind of weird.
They did it because this is my understanding. So what they did this year, so the tournaments are so big. So what they tried to do, because tournament rounds were getting so long with the +3 turns, what they did this year to alleviate that problem is instead of they used to only have 8 rounds on day 1. This past year, they only had 8 rounds, and then you could make it to day 2 if you had a certain record. And it turned out that some of those records made it impossible to get to the top 8 in day 2. And so they were just like, kind of, why aren't we doing this? You know? And so they reinstituted the 9-round day 1. But to get around that, because what happens is with the +3 turns, people like really slow down and they think about each of their moves, right? Because they want to optimize those 3 turns when they're playing, to try to get the advantage and try to win the game, or maybe stall out your opponent. Because honestly, when you're playing Pokemon TCG at a tournament, it's really weird. I mean, playing at a tournament versus just being good at like the game and its mechanics are 2 separate things. Because
tournament play does use different skills for sure.
Yeah, because when you hit after game 1, there's always somebody at the table that doesn't want the game to end, right? Because if the person won game 1 after 30 minutes, all they have to do is keep playing at their pace, and then they just automatically win because there's no conclusion to game 2. If game 2 finishes and there's a position where both players are 1-1. Then, you know, one player might just be like, well, I really want the draw instead. I don't want to lose, right? So you have a lot of things like that. It's a very like weird system. And so now they're trying to speed up the time because it's only 20 minutes. It used to be like rounds would go over like 20, 30 minutes because of +3 time, right? And they're trying to speed that up by making it a 10-minute timer, which maybe they should have just done with +3 turns, honestly. Hey, you have a 10-minute timer on your +3 turns. And I'm kind of hoping that's kind of what they go towards, but I don't know. They're definitely trying to speed it up, and I understand why they're doing it. I don't know. It's a hard problem to solve with these ever growing tournaments, and they're definitely exponentially growing at a rate that they don't really know how to deal with.
Right.
And I don't blame them. Like they are running some of the largest TCG tournaments in the Western Hemisphere, and it's a difficult problem. So I can't criticize them for the way they're handling it or anything. So kudos to them.
Yeah, it's gonna be shaky until they find like the sweet spot where they can have rules that will not necessarily put anyone in a disadvantage. But until then, we'll just have to figure it out. Now, people who actually know how to name their sites is Japan. So in case you thought you might be able to purchase TCG products, Japan latest TCG trademark is Storm Emerald.
Oh yes, Storm Emerald. Yes.
Which badass. As well as trademarks for Abyss Eye and Mega Dream EX.
Yep.
But don't worry, guys, we get Mega Evolution set next.
Well, all of these are going to be megas. I think all of them will be megas.
Yeah, but they're not called Mega Evolution, the set.
Okay, but like Storm Emerald is definitely just Rayquaza, right? Like it's just Rayquaza.
It has to be.
Right? Like that's all it is. It's a Rayquaza set. Like we get these. This happens every like set rotation. We get a Rayquaza set. There's a Charizard set because those Pokemon historically just do very well in terms of popularity. Because again, Pokemon's driven as a collector's market, not like a player's market.
Yeah.
I say this all the time, but yeah. All right, so I'm gonna take first of all Puckle's Badge Bonanza for July because it's July now. Actually, the episode comes out on June 30th, but in July, Puckle's Badge Bonanza is the Pokemon trading card game originally released for the Game Boy Color. It's available on Switch if you have NSO, or you can play it on whatever. You can play it on cartridge. You can play it on the 3DS Virtual Console, whatever format you have it on. Emulator. I'm not gonna vouch for doing that, but you could. I wouldn't know. If you took a screenshot, I wouldn't know. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
We're lost nowadays.
But yeah. And then finally, everybody's favorite news segment, Wo Chien's News Corner, news brought to you at a snail's pace. 10 years ago this week, the app Dance Pokemon Band released in Japan to coincide with the Hoopa movie, and everybody was confused. It was a simple rhythm game that ended service a few months later at the end of October. And then somehow Cafe Remix released 5 years ago. But yeah. And then finally, the last piece of things I want to talk about is we're still running the Puckle survey by July 16th, which is a Wednesday. I'm going to do a stream where we begin the stream with probably about an hour of me talking about the survey results and how we're going to change Puckle as a result of those survey results.
And your feedback does make changes.
It does actually make changes.
It really does.
We do dive into it. We take a lot of the comments to heart. And when it's about the show, I think when you try to change people's personality, it doesn't work as much. But
useful feedback.
Useful feedback. Yeah.
Yes, guys, you can't get rid of me that easy. Stop harassing Thatch about it.
My favorite, I mentioned in the Discord the other day, and somebody posted the Seinfeld meme with George Costanza's dad, going, I have problems with you people, and you're gonna hear about it. And I was just like, yeah, that's kind of the vibe sometimes. Yeah, but yeah, you can go check that out. That's in the show notes or the description, wherever you're watching or listening to the show. You can click on that link. If we hit 250 responses by the time we get there on July 16th, we're going to give away a copy of Pokemon Legends ZA for either Switch 1 or Switch 2. So please do that before July 16th. I know a lot of you haven't filled it out because I know how many people listen to the show and I know how many responses we have. We are over halfway there though, so definitely keep going. We will give away that game. I want to give away that game. I always budget for that whenever there's a new game release. But yeah. All right, with that though, guys, we're going to kick it on over to our topic. Welcome to our topic. Our topic today, for those of you who read the topic title, is top 5 and bottom 5 regional forms of Pokemon. I've kind of been waiting for this one because we've been putting off using regionals as like criteria for the rest of the top 5s and bottom 5s.
Yeah.
And I really just wanted to cover it. No, I think there's a lot of good ones.
more now. Yeah, like it's not a small pool at this point.
Yeah, no, it is
but
not.
We
a small
did have
pool.
a conversation about, well, does that include the Wug Trios and Toadscrolls of the world?
No, those are convergent ones. Those are convergent
Which is
evolutions.
like, okay, but how is a convergent form any different than
it's
the
not.
original variant?
It's their new strategy. I'm very convinced that like it's their new strategy to get rid of regional forms from Pokemon because they don't like adding in. Like, they don't like that when they add Meowth into a game now. They have to add in Meowth, Alolan Meowth, Alolan Persian, a Galarian Meowth,
sure,
Berserker.
If they didn't do like 17 versions of Meowth, they wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah, they did it to themselves. It's self-inflicted.
Although, to be fair, I would be okay with a Meowth of every type. Like,
honestly,
let's do that.
too.
But
now, for the record,
like a Meowth of every cat breed.
I was very happy with the way they implemented like the regional forms in Gen 9 with the Blueberry Academy, where they got new Pokedex entries actually just for the like the Alolan forms and the Galarian forms. I thought that was done very well. So I did appreciate that. So I'm glad we got those. But yeah, so yeah, we're going to do this. If you've never been to one of these episodes before, what we're going to do is we're going to go around nominating a top and a bottom each, and then we're going to sit down and discuss whether that Pokemon deserves to be on Puckle's top 5 list or bottom 5 list. And then, of course, you're probably going to disagree with us.
And then email us about it.
And then you can email us about it. Tamal will email us about it. It'll be really funny. It's fine. But yeah.
And we don't talk about the flying episode.
We don't talk about the flying. We need to redo the flying episode. I need to redo it. I need to redo it without Whimsicott being there. All right. So I'm going to kick things off. I've got the list pulled up on my screen, but I'm going to nominate. I'm going to start a little bit different than we usually do. I'm going to start with a bottom nomination.
Okay.
And
honestly, those are easier.
I think this is a slam dunk. I think this is a slam dunk.
There's a few easy ones.
I think I either Diglett or Doug Trio. I feel like we can just not, like, we don't need that.
I do
already disagree. I do love the hair too.
The hair.
And the explanation as to why the hair's there. Yeah.
I mean, it is very fitting.
I agree that okay.
I just think of the regionals, it's kind of the weakest, right? Like, they got the hair, the hair's got cool lore, that's fine. I just think of like the Alolan forms, I think it is the weakest, with the exception of one other, but I just think like Alolan Diglett is just boring. They're just like, we gave it hair.
I mean, I do love the lore behind it.
Not in the top. Let me put it this way. I don't think any of us are advocating for Alolan Doug Trio to be in the top, right?
Well, obviously.
No. Well, there you go.
I mean, there's only like 30 of these guys. Somebody's got to be in the bottom, okay?
I mean, it is hard because the regionals are a really great bunch of.
Can you think of five other regional Pokemon that are worse than Diglett?
Wait a minute.
I don't think you can.
Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4. I can think of 4 others.
Yeah,
no,
that's what I'm saying.
5. I did get to 5, but it's towards the bottom half for sure. So I'm fine.
It's definitely. I think I'm gonna put Diglett there specifically. Doug Trio, we can say sure he's Fabio, but like,
Diglett, yes, for sure.
Let's just agree with the Diglett, and then
yeah.
Just put that baby there. I'm not gonna argue much. I do love the lore behind it. Still, put it there.
I think the lore is good. I think the lore is good.
Because I was one of the ones that were like laughing. It's like, what the hell's this? Like, why Diglett with hair? What's the point of this? And then I read, it's some, those metal fibers that grow in.
No. It's actually
It's like, awesome, amazing. But yeah, design wise, it doesn't compete with the rest.
Design wise, I don't think it's as exciting. Like, that's just kind of where I'm at with that. I just don't think it's nearly as.
Why
exciting.
are they so obsessed with Diglett? Like, then we got Wiglet, and I'm like, which was really just another version of. It's like, what is their fixation with Diglett and Doug Trio?
Yeah,
they really like Diglett and Doug Trio. To be fair, Wiglet I think was more memeable than any of the other Pokemon they put into Gen 9. Like, I see Wiglet as almost like the Wooloo, more so than Lechonk of that generation.
Yeah. Sure.
I really think that's how that shook out. I love Lechonk. I
want it to be
love
part
it,
psychic
so.
type, and it's not, and I'm bothered by it.
Okay, and then we can like slam dunk. We can slam dunk right now, right? Like we're just gonna slam dunk Victory Lap, and just go Alolan Ninetales, like the regional evolution,
Correct.
like the regional form,
number one. We
Like
all know
the regional form Alolan Ninetales.
We shouldn't leave
Kind
it
of
for
the
the end
face
because
of
it's like the obvious.
variants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only
Not gonna fight
one.
it.
Only one Alolan form made it into Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah, and guess
And
which
it was-
one it was.
And it was Alolan Ninetales and Alolan Vulpix. So
Yeah.
they made a whole game where the point was you can't bring every Pokemon and not every form of every Pokemon's going to be in it.
It's just so hard to
but-
compete with.
It's Alolan Ninetales.
But it's Alolan
It's-
Ninetales.
It's just a point of beauty to just put white on something, just completely paint it that color, have it. It's just such a grace. And the Ninetales per se, the original one was already so graceful and pretty as a Pokemon that just making it ice, it's like that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
You can leave. You can leave work. You can clock out. You've done your work. Perfect.
I do
nothing else
really
to say.
think that I don't know. I think a lot of I really like the typings that they put on a lot of the regional forms because they're just like different typings that you don't expect sometimes. And
Although you do run into the case of, we'll just give it dark.
yeah,
That is
No,
true, actually. Yeah.
my favorite thing is there's actually
Or fighting.
let me
You slap
pull
on
this
so
up.
many target fighting.
I gotta find it. It was on our Pokemon like years ago. It was like talking about Pokemon regional forms on. It was essentially right after the reveal of like Galarian Zigzagoon. It was like the butterfly meme, where the guy gets it and he goes,
Is this a
and it says regional form of a regional rodent, and it says Game Freak making regional forms, and it says, is this a dark type?
Yeah.
It is so
and the answer
funny.
is yes.
It was
It's
so
the easiest to
funny.
slap on, I think, without having to change the like physiology too much.
Oh
Like,
yeah, certainly. I
That
just
and
thought it
fighting
was so
type, very
funny because they
honestly.
just do it for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy
yeah.
to slap on.
Okay, now I don't know who wants to
Who's
go
next?
next.
I have some
yeah.
ideas if I
Okay,
could go
you go,
next.
Sublime.
Okay,
Go for
I
it.
think this is an easy slam dunk to the top, and it's an icon, and everybody loves it.
Mhm.
Hisuian Zoroark.
Yeah. Okay. I don't
Yeah,
like. We can't
again,
fight
It's
that.
really cool.
We can't
I wanna
fight
like,
that.
but it's just not fightable. It's just an amazing freaking
It's-
Pokemon.
It's not even
It's
that.
a
It's
really
just like
cool type. It's
And,
a
like,
really cool type.
A
the
cool
shiny.
design.
The shiny is good too, and like
Yeah,
it's just
and
like
let's be real. Zoroark was originally original flavor Zoroark was really hyped up to be something, and then it just
Yeah.
feels like
it wasn't,
doesn't.
and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't live up to the hype. Like it got a movie, right?
Yeah.
But Hisuian does it.
Yeah,
Gets the job
it just
done.
came.
Yep.
It just did well, and then like the typing is so cool and unique with normal Ghost, and it's just a phenomenal Pokemon overall. Like I can't. I feel like the top. None of us are gonna fight any of these suggestions on until
Well,
I.
that's what I was just gonna say. It's funny that when we talk about the top ones, we almost say it with such resignation
Yeah,
because it's like I wish I could argue.
yeah, I can't. No,
Right?
like
To make
No,
this
it's-
podcast more entertaining, but how can I argue against Zoroark and Ninetales?
I do think
Regionals,
this
they're
is-
just perfect.
I do think this is part of the reason that like I wanted to make sure we didn't discuss the regionals in like the generation episodes, because every regional is just so well handcrafted compared to the original
Yeah.
that
Because you've had time on top of
Yeah.
an original design to improve.
exactly. So they just like improved on a design. So obviously, like if we did that, I think a lot of the regionals would just like hit top in just a generation because they're
Yeah.
just done that well.
Often,
Yep.
Regionals are like the best thing that Pokemon's done in a very long time. So
Yeah.
I can't be mad.
Which is angers me that they want to get rid of it, but that's
Well,
I don't
the
know if they
nature of
want to.
them.
That's not
Something that's
confirmed. That's
functionally
not
the same.
confirmed. Yeah, we're just gonna.
The same, right?
No,
yeah,
we'll just get convergents that are just functionally the same thing,
it's just
right?
a regional by a different dex number.
By
right?
a different dex number, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have a bottom one, Sublime?
I have 2 in mind. Let's see.
Give us the first one.
Think. The first one is Galarian Stunfisk, because why?
Okay. I'm not gonna. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not.
Second
Yeah.
one might be a little more
I hate that the
controversial, but
original one
No,
exists.
no. You hold on to
one.
yours. Hold on to yours. You got your turn. We got the Galarian Stunfisk in.
Yeah. Okay.
I hate that. Like I just agree. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
okay,
difficult.
yeah, it's a bear trap. How clever. Anyway.
I don't know. I just remember like I was already upset at Gen 8, right? And then they're just like, you know what?
That's what got infuriated, right? Like.
Yeah, I was just like, I was very critical of Gen 8 when it came out and like their deck selections specifically.
And in retrospect, you were right.
It was more that I was just like
a weak spot.
It is definitely I know there are people who really like Gen 8, and I shouldn't say that you can't, right? Like everybody can like what they like.
No, for sure. I mean, I'm not saying there weren't good poke. Every generation adds good poke.
Oh, Gen 8,
I think. I think it's got a lot of.
I think Gen 8 overall, like Pokemon design wise, has like a better than average Pokemon design and the new Pokemon that they've added. And I do like that is the highlight of Gen 8 to me. Like I think Stonjourner is a cool Pokemon.
Icon. Love Dragapult.
Yeah, I think Stonjourner is really cool.
Yeah.
I was really I was just hypercritical of like the 400 they chose as like the Galar decks, right? I was like, oh, you don't want a lot of repeats? Well, you got this Yamper thing over here, and then I just caught an Electrike, okay? And then it's just like, here's a Galarian Stunfisk. I'm like, okay, that didn't need to be in the game, but thank you very much. It is really good in Pokemon Go though. If you are a Pokemon Go boy, it is very good. It's very good in
Alchemy just got added to Unite, and I think that's probably going to be really good too. So
yeah, Alchemy is a cool Pokemon. I think Alchemy is a really cool Pokemon. I think Galarian Stunfisk in Pokemon Go, very good Pokemon. In the Pokemon Go PvP, which we should respect. We should respect that. That is like a real. That's like a real format.
As a choice, like really, the Stunfisk. No.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised at how well it is too, because it's the same typing as like Steelix, who's kind of a garbage Pokemon, but it does better than Steelix.
Yeah.
Which is kind of bonkers to me. But okay, Jushiro, it's your turn.
Well, so let's start with the bottom one, and this one is really disappointing because I started with this starter, and that is Hisui Samurott.
I was not expecting any of the starters to get
actually. Okay, now we can disagree because I think Hisuian Samurott is fine. I had no problems with this.
Starters.
Yeah, the Hisuian starters are like pretty cool. Like it took Samurott.
The other two are amazing. I have no arguments on the other two. The other two are chef's kiss. They're great. My dislike with Samurott is that I just feel they didn't do enough to make it unique as the other two. Like they even changed the weaponry that Hisuian Decidueye uses. They couldn't just make a different design. It just looks like a color palette switch.
It's dark mode Samurott.
It is dark mode Samurott. I do agree with you there, but I do think it's just like cool. I don't know. Like I am not upset with dark mode Samurott. I think Hisui. Let me see if they have like some cool trivia for the design or something, because it is a little bit different, and it's different enough that like
I do think it is the weakest of the three,
for sure.
But I still think it's good.
Yeah,
okay, that's fair. It's 2 against 1, so I ain't got. Yeah. Hey, it's content at least.
Let me see. I gotta find it. Hisuian Samurott might be based on the extinct Japanese otter. Ooh. That's kind of cool actually. And it has flame. It's based the swords that it has. They called them scimitars. Oh my god, that's so funny. I didn't know they called Hisuian. I didn't know they called Samurott's swords are scimitars. Oh my gosh, that's really funny. For those of you at home, scimitar is spelled like SEA Mitaar. That's so funny. And they make them look like flame bladed swords, or like wave bladed swords, which is really, really cute. That's really good, actually. The fact that they're called scimitars, he can't be on the bottom of Jushiro. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair.
He has scimitars.
My top one, however, is one of my favorite regionals, and I don't know, it might not be arguable or yes, but for me, it's definitely my favorite. It is Galar Rapidash.
Galarian Rapidash is solid. I
love its design.
So I love it, and I love its typing being very psychic. I think that's real cool. The only problem I have with it is that I feel like they just did Ninetales again when they were like designing it. You know what I mean?
Because they knew it was a hit, but I do know what you mean.
Yeah, I feel like they just did it again.
Could be done for Hisuian Zoroark too.
No.
So?
What do they? I don't think they did the Ninetales treatment to Hisuian Zoroark.
It's white.
No, we're gonna just disagree.
The original changed white. It's the same.
It's a different ice cream flavor.
I'm conflicted because I feel let down by Galarian Rapidash, not with its design, but like I just feel like they didn't make it impressive enough as a Pokemon. Yeah, and I'm like, this move pool is way too shallow.
The move pool was kind of bad, right?
And like to be fair, the Psychic Fairy type pool is kind of oversaturated.
Oh, it doesn't help. It doesn't help that it's also it is also kind of a physical attacker, which
it's
does not
even the best Psychic Fairy type added in Gen 8.
Yeah, right.
The best typing or whatever stat spread or
that's my issue. Is like I actually really like the design. I feel let down by things that I don't know are relevant to this discussion.
I know. I think that's part of it for me. Like when I consider some Pokemon, I go, man, did I have a good time playing with it? Right. And my play experience is not just like the playthrough experience, which it might be for like Jushiro, but also for the competitive experience. Right. Did I have fun playing with this? Because when I play Pokemon competitive Pokemon, I'm gonna put competitive in heavy quotes right now, but when I play like in a more competitive format, I do try to bring Pokemon that are different and weird. And so like I would try Rapidash, I would try Hisuian Zoroark, I would try Ninetales. Well, Ninetales succeeded, but I would try these different Pokemon that I think are cool, right? Yeah, Ninetales is very good. And unfortunately, I mean, I don't even know that it's Rapidash's fault that it didn't do as well. I think it's just that there aren't a lot of good physical fairy type moves. And they didn't give it like the physical fairy type move and play rough either. So,
it's the same problem that the original.
Oh, well, it did get it as like a TR. It did get it as a TR. I should say that, but yeah, it has the same problem as Rapidash, where well, to be fair, basic fire is like if you can't beat Arcanine, like you're just done, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, Rapidash got Smart Strike. That is so cool, actually.
Yeah.
I feel bad like vetoing it. I just feel underwhelmed.
No,
by it. Can we table it?
We'll table it. If we can't think of some more, because it's in the upper half. I would say
it's definitely in the upper half. I agree. Design wise, it's in the upper half. So I guess it comes back to me. It's back to me now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit weirder on my top pick. Just because I know I need to make it somewhat interesting. Now I'm going to nominate Galarian Farfetch'd because I think it's cool. The only con I have for Galarian Farfetch'd is that it came a generation too early before Pokemon ripped off the band-aid of just giving normal Pokemon evolutions. And now we have Surfetch'd, and it can only come from a Galarian Farfetch'd, which is very annoying. I hope they retcon it that like regular Farfetch'd can evolve into Surfetch'd or something at some point.
Right.
I would really like that because I like Galarian Farfetch'd, but honestly, I'm saying this because of Surfetch'd, right?
Yeah. No, we know. We know. We can read between the lines. We can read between the leaks.
But
I
we
don't
can say no.
like Galarian Farfetch'd.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm more of a.
It looks so similar to Farfetch'd. I'm like,
That's fair.
You got a bigger leak.
Okay. Easy bottom. Easy. Mr. Mime. Galarian Mr. Mime.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yep. We didn't need that in our lives.
Where's the gavel? Like, hard agree. Let's go. Move on.
Send it to hell.
It's worse. The evolution doesn't make it better like Galarian Farfetch. The evolution makes it worse.
Yep.
Because when I see Galarian Mr. Mime, I go.
Rhyme.
When I see Mr. Rhyme, I go, which one's the face? And you don't know.
Oh, I love that with Belly Bolt though, but that's a whole other story.
With Belly Bolt, it feels intentional. With Mr. Rhyme, it feels creepy.
Like, but that's only because it is.
It's only because it is the way it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but only because it is creepy.
it's just creepy. Like, what is the face?
No.
Is it the head or is it belly? Like, I don't know, and I don't want to know. Like,
yeah, no, Mr. Mime was an easy bottom 5. Agree.
That's a hard like slam it. We're done. Okay, well, we're back to you then, Sublime.
Okay, I think this one's a pretty easy top case. Because I think it really showcased it was an Alolan. I think a lot of the Alolans hit so hard. But it really showcased like the creativity and how much you could breathe new life into an old Pokemon. And that would be Alolan Marowak.
Okay. I thought you were gonna go somewhere else, but I absolutely adore Alolan Marowak. I think it's such a cool idea.
Design, super cool type. Like it was really strong. Like when it came out. Yeah.
The lore behind it, amazing.
I'm sure it would be doing just as well competitively if it were in the game now. It's just not in the game. I agree with you. I do agree. I think it's very.
How many
very
do we
cool.
have already on top and bottom?
We have 3 and 3. That's where we're at right now.
3 and 3, okay.
We're at 3 and 3 because Alolan Marowak is we agreed on Alolan Marowak. We should.
Before we go to like the 5th, we should do some honor mentions or something.
Oh yeah, no, that's what. Yeah.
And we might take some stuff out if we find like, oh, actually, no, that is worse. Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, so you get a bottom pick now, Sublime. So you can get that second one.
Okay, this one.
I have a couple easy ones too.
I have one. I'm not sure what y'all will think about it, and that would be Goodra.
I don't think it's
why. What did they do? Like, it's like.
I think Hisuian Goodra is fine. Like I kind of like it as like, oh, Goodra lost its shell eventually, but like I don't think it's like bottom 5 for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But when we're talking about Goodra, we're talking about the whole line, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's just Sliggoo then, like Hisuian Sliggoo.
It's Sliggoo and Goodra, and I'm like, your Steel type, which is a much better typing, but I'm like,
the typing is much better for sure.
Feels so boring. It's so.
It was interesting because like they left it.
Off. It's bright, like it's model in the game. I have always felt kind of weird, like it's not well put together. I don't know if anyone else has that feeling. It does give me like some like uncanny valley about him.
For me, it kind of just feels like it was almost an unfinished concept, right?
It feels unfinished, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I just don't vibe with that one.
It just feels like they go.
It should be so good, but it doesn't feel like it is.
They were just like, oh, we should have, let's give Goodra a Hisuian form. What would have really done it, honestly, and probably made it a lot better is if like the colors were a little bit different on the Goodra itself, right?
Yeah.
But it's just Goodra with the shell. And to be fair, that's kind of what they were going for with the lore, right? Goodra loses its shell over evolutionary times and stuff like that. So I kind of get it. But at the same time, I don't disagree that it's like weak, but I don't think it's like bottom 5.
If we don't think it's bottom 5, we can table it,
Let's
for
table it.
later if we find more bad ones. But I was always like, what is really? That's it? Okay.
We're back to you, Jushiro. You get a top and a bottom.
Which one should we do first? Let's do bottom.
There's some easy shoe wins for top, I think.
Yeah,
we're just like
trying to avoid.
Well,
to not
we're trying to diversify right now. Okay.
Yeah. Here's one that this one actually I do not know how you guys feel about. And that is Alolan Muck.
Alolan
Oh,
Muck.
I really love Alolan Muck.
You love him?
Alolan.
I do.
It's a good Pokemon, and so my favorite thing about the Alolan forms, because I think they took way more care for the Alolan forms than they did for, honestly, like the Galarian forms or even the Paldean forms. I think they took I think they did it because, one, I didn't think they thought it was going to be that successful, but they were trying to do the best job they could, right? Because I would argue like all of the Alolan forms are probably in the top half for me, for sure. I think probably all of them. Yeah, I think
most of them.
Maybe I could exclude Persian. I could exclude Persian.
And Diglett, right, which is the one we started.
Oh, and Diglett, yeah. But like, okay, that's fair. But I think they took very good care because to like select the Pokemon and then make them interesting and different. Like I would argue that a lot of the Alolan forms are just more different than their base forms than the other ones. The other ones are just like it feels like, oh, Mr. Mime, but we gave it a new job. And it's Stunfisk, except it doesn't shock you, it clamps on your foot. And when it comes to like Alolan Muck, they were just like, but what if it just has a completely different existence in Alola? What if it's just like, yeah, I'm picking up different garbage, and I also like make these cool garbage crystals that are really fun.
I love.
And the colors are fun.
It's
and if
gelato.
you were gonna give anything the dark type, Dark Poison is so good. Like, oh, I love it.
I would argue Hisuian Quillfish is not fun, but I think this is fun.
I would agree. In fact, I would be willing to put Quillfish in the bottom.
Me too. Yeah, that was my next shot. Yeah, but yeah, I'm okay with Muck actually in the top 5. Now I would say our last one.
Top 5, though.
Okay, but just
wait.
for the bottom 5. So let's
that was for that was my nomination for bottom 5.
I totally misunderstood. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Jushiro.
No, it's okay. It's been. No, I don't. I personally not. I do like the crystal things. That's fine. The colors is not because it's colorful. I think my problem with it is just the moving colors kind of
sure
makes me nervous or something. It's not visually.
The animation is different. The animation's weird.
Right. The animation just takes me off a little bit. But hey, it is what it is. If it's Vito, it's Vito. I do have a top one that I really
Who's
like.
your top? Who's your top?
And this is it's gonna be kind of like your Farfetch thing. It's Corsola. It's
interesting.
Galarian Corsola, because I also love Cursola a lot. I love the story behind it. Once again, you take a Pokemon and you make it white, and it just looks badass.
I really like Galarian Corsola as like a concept. Like I like the idea.
Yeah.
The execution I think they messed up on was they made it pure ghost.
Yes.
I wish they
would
would
have loved it to be Water Ghost or Rock Ghost.
I think Rock Ghost would have been more interesting.
Rock Ghost would have been great, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that makes sense, like Rock Ghost, because it's like dead coral, so the rock is dead, right? Just kind of like how it's Water Rock now. I think it would have made more sense to make it Ghost Rock. I think that would have been the way to go.
Yeah,
I don't know if I put it in the top.
I love it.
I don't know.
Okay.
I do love it though. That is a very
I do
good
like it. Yeah. I just don't know if I top 5 like it. That's my only thing. Just sure I'm tabling it.
Oh yeah.
Tabling it. We tabled both of yours. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Bottom. We already Sublime and I already agreed on this, but I would nominate Hisuian Quillfish. I'm bummed by it, and I don't think Overquill is cool. I
always forget it exists. Honestly, every time I see Overquill, I'm like, oh right, that thing exists, which is kind of like the.
I just don't think it's good design.
I just think it's
bigger and spikier.
I also I complain about this a lot, and that's my own fault. So Pokemon Legends Arceus was a fun game, great game. I loved it. My biggest issue with it is so minor, but it bothered me so much. My biggest issue with Pokemon Legends Arceus was that when they introduced a new Pokemon, it was already a type that existed in the game. And there wasn't a big Pokemon pool in that game, right? It was only about 240 Pokemon. So they're like, what if you had Hisuian Sneasel and it's a poison fighting type? I'm like, well, then if I use the cool new thing, I can't use Croagunk, and Croagunk's cool. And then they're just like, oh man, how about this poison dark type Quillfish? I'm like, but Stunky's here, and it's Stunky and Skuntank are already here, and Drapion are already in this game. And I'm just like, man, you're already taking away like some of the cool options, so I don't double up on types on my team. I mean, it's a very minor gripe, but it was a gripe that I had with the game. That was my only problem with it, though.
See, meanwhile, I love Sneasler.
I didn't say it wasn't a cool Pokemon. I think Sneasler is a cool Pokemon. It's one of my favorites. Yeah. I think it is a fantastically cool Pokemon. I just think that I just was upset that like it was in that game. You know what I mean? Like I would have been I would have been fine with Sneasler being like in Gen 9, right? Because we didn't have 240 Pokemon and there was already a fighting poison line. And you have two other dark poison options if you're going to go Quillfish. And why would you go for Overquill over either of them, right? Stuntank is better than this. Okay, top. I'm going to just do an easy one so that like we go, obviously we got to do this, right? And my answer would be one of the Galarian birds. If I were going to pick one though, I would probably say Galarian Articuno. I think it's like a really cool design.
Why don't we just let them share?
We can let them share. I'm okay with that because I think all three of them are like kind of solid designs.
I was thinking of suggesting all of the Hisuian starter forms because they're all really good.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing is true for the birds.
I think the birds are just really cool. Like the Galarian birds are really cool. All of them like just look really, really good actually. Like I don't have any complaints. Moltres being, I also love the typings. They picked Dark Fighting and Psychic.
Yes,
I just thought that was done so well.
Which is the inverse. It's
I just thought it was done so well. And like Galarian Zapdos, I love that it's a flightless bird. I love the little side missions you did in
more we were talking about in one episode that they should do more of that.
I hope they do more in the future. I mean, we got some of that in Scarlet and Violet. Not as much as we did in, I would say, oh my gosh, what's the other game we played? Pokemon Legends Arceus. But I still think that it was a really cool way to do it. Actually no. Pokemon Legends Arceus did it very well with the genies. I take that back. The genie chases in Pokemon Legends Arceus were very good. They were very similar.
That is true. They're just not regional.
I will say we put all three of them there though.
Make them share
for that.
They share a slot. Like they should, because they're all the same vibe. Vibe.
Positive.
All right, we're gonna go. We have one slot on both sides left, so I guess we just go and like we can rapid fire it. I guess.
Right. I want to do some honorable mentions of Pokemon that I find really cool, but I know that you guys won't.
I think we mention them. I think if we mention Pokemon that we like and then we inevitably all just grab one, we can put it there, and then we can talk about Pokemon we dislike, and then we just go there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you got, Jushiro?
So one Pokemon that is weird, and I know it's not going to be on a lot of people's list, but I somehow find it so interesting, is Hisuian, Voltorb, and Electrode.
I think they're really cute.
They're actually really neat. I would say
it makes so much sense, and it's such a clever concept.
Yeah.
Right, and the typing, I love that they're electric grass. I love that it's made of wood.
Pokeballs. I think it's brilliant. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of just want to put them on top, honestly. They're kind of good. They're kind of good.
I really like them. It's like I've never liked Voltorb or Electrode, the original version. So
it is yet again another example of being able to improve upon an original.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like they're fine. I know why they exist. I know the gameplay behind it. They're there to trap you when you find those little Pokeballs and you think they're items. It's fine. But no, I think
they're really cool. I'm gonna put Voltorb because I think Voltorb's cuter than Electrode. But
yeah,
I think the vibe's the same.
Yeah, I freaking love Hisuian, Electope, and Vortorp. So
Actually, that was just
didn't think you guys were gonna go with that one.
I don't know. I
hilarious.
think of like the Hisuians are like it's one of the cooler ones.
Yeah,
Like it's one of them that I'll be like that's really original and I really like that.
yeah.
I mean, some of my favorites that aren't going to make it. My favorite, hands down, has always been Alolan Sandshrew. Maybe not Sandslash. I think he's just a cute little guy. I don't think anybody else.
Eskimo, little bump in their head, which I love it.
He's an igloo.
Alolan Meowth. Love Alolan Meowth.
Alolan Meowth is solid. I
Alolan Meowth.
I like Galarian Meowth. I think he's just a silly little guy.
Both.
I think they're just silly little guys.
How did I have someone explain it and it made perfect sense? Is the 3 Meowths represent the 3 working classes? And Alolan Meowth is the bougie one. Galarian Meowth is the working cat.
I also am just like a big fan of like the Alolan Geodude, Alolan Golem line.
I feel like that's one of the weaker ones personally.
Really? I just like them. But it doesn't make sense. I just think they're cool. Like I think Rock Electric is a cool type. And I can
agree. And I do like the designs. I think it's cute. It makes quite the jump with Alolan Golem being kind of like a railgun.
Yeah. No, I love it.
But that's fine.
I love it. When I go to Hawaii,
of course you like it. Your favorite Pokemon is Blastoise. You love anything that has like a weapon attached to it.
It turns out I'm actually a Digimon fan. And I do think one of the weaker designs overall, probably for Galarian Pokemon, I would have to say, I think this is a shoe-in, by the way. I forgot to mention this one for our last bottom one. Avalugg. Hisuian Avalugg.
Yeah, Avalugg was on my list.
I think that's just like an easy. I think it's just easy. This is done. We don't like it.
I mean, Rattata's really bad too in my mind. But
I think Rattata's fine. I like Rattata.
Well, the other thing is, Avalugg gets worse.
Yeah, it gets worse. Yeah.
I did not know, in the famous words of Taylor Swift's song, I didn't even remember this existed. I didn't know. I just looking at it right now and I'm like, why have I not seen this at all in the game? I never finished. I have to go back and finish it. I never finished Arceus, I really did not know about this Pokemon, and it's weird.
Yeah, it's just not.
Have we filled up all the top 5 for the best?
Yeah, we finished.
If we
we're done.
If we add a Lolo and Voltorb,
yeah, we're done.
Sorry.
We do need to give a shout out, I think, to the Hisuian variants for the starter because they're all.
I think that was a good play on their part. I didn't think they would actually ever do it. I'll be honest with you. I never thought that they would give like regional forms to the starters. So kudos to them for surprising me, like legitimately surprising me. I think it's very cool. The only problem that it's done is it's made everybody think that there's going to be like regional variants in Pokemon Legends EA now.
And I personally hope there are.
I mean, I would, if they're there, I will be very happy and impressed. I just don't think it'll happen, you know?
There's no guarantee for sure.
Yeah, I just don't. One, I definitely believe that they're moving away from regional forms in general. And two, I think that they're not trying to make that a focus point of this game, right? This game isn't about capturing Pokemon so much as it is about battling Pokemon. Yeah. And so I don't think there's going to be too much other than like maybe some story form changes and stuff.
Such a good offensive battler as it is.
They're doing it to give Mega Meganium to us, okay?
I hope so.
That's what's happening.
Before we finish, I wanted to do 2 more nominations that I know we filled it up, but just I have to mention them because these are Pokemon that I don't like, but I'm sure that a lot of people do. But for me, they just don't do it.
Every Pokemon's somebody's favorite. Like
right. But these are Pokemon that usually are looked upon very positively, but I don't.
Okay.
It is Alolan Raichu.
I think Alolan Raichu is fine.
I know. I don't like it. I
think I have a friend whose favorite Pokemon is Cantonian Raichu, And it's hard liking
that
the
person's
original
weird.
Raichu.
That person's weird.
It's hard
okay?
being the person that likes OG Raichu.
Yeah.
And the other one that I'm sure is going to be controversial that I don't like is
Raichu was an
Hisuian.
unfortunate casualty in Pokemon's marketing.
Yeah.
Is literally like Raichu was a casualty of accidentally the anime taking off.
Yeah, no. If Raichu were a person, he would be depressed in a bar every night.
Yes. Raichu's the guy. Raichu's the Pete Best of the Pokemon franchise. For those of you who don't know who Pete Best is, that I just made a really deep reference that 90% of our audience did not get. The Beatles, a very successful rock and roll band in the 1960s, who had who you should know, hopefully. If you don't, please go look them up. I don't know. I don't know if Gen Z does. I don't know if Gen Z does sometimes.
They know the Beatles.
No, Gen Z, yes. Lower than that, I don't know.
Yeah. Gen Alpha probably doesn't, but go ahead, look them up if you don't know them. But Paul, Ringo, George, and John were the Beatles. Ringo was the drummer, but before they got big, they had another drummer named Pete Best. And when they tried to get a record deal, the record company said, you have to fire your drummer. Here's this other drummer we know named Ringo. He's the best drummer in Liverpool. And so they just kind of slotted Ringo in, and they started played music, and they became very popular. So Pete Best didn't get to ride on the success of the Beatles.
Sorry, Ringo.
Oh, no, Ringo did it.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Pete.
And so, that's what I was mentioning, is that Raichu is the Pete Best of Pokemon. He got replaced by Pikachu.
Yep. So the other one that I know a lot of people might like, I do not like, is the Hisuian Arcanine. Not a fan.
Really?
I like it. Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, no, not for me. I just original all the way.
It's kind of like to me, it's like the perfect.
But not
Arcanine. I think it's like the perfect regional in that, like, I like it just as much as I like the original one, but I don't like
nice.
But I don't like one better than the other. You know what I mean? If one was in the game and the other one wasn't, I would be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm okay with that. I feel like they are equivalent in coolness, but they're different enough to be different Pokemon.
Yeah. Something about its coloring, it's not for me.
Gives me statue energy, which I enjoy.
Oh yeah. All right, so I'm gonna wrap up for everybody at home. I know they'd be like, that you caught off the conversation early, but we're 45 minutes in, guys. We've got a list already. Which is our top 5 is Alolan Ninetales, Hisuian Zoroark, Alolan Marowak, and then it is also the 3 Galarian legendary birds, and then Hisuian Voltorb. Our bottom 5, Alolan Diglett, Galarian Stunfisk, Mr. Mime, Hisuian Quillfish, and Hisuian Avalugg. Of course, you can disagree with us, and you can send those emails in to us at puclpodcast@gmail.com, letting us know what your top and bottom 5 regional Pokemon are. We'd love to hear from you guys. But with that, we are going to kick it on over to Puckle's Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge. We'll catch you on the flip-flop.
Oh, hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark from the Dunsparce Gang, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
Welcome to our Poke Quiz. As always, make sure you submit your questions to us over at our Discord server, pucldiscord.com. That's how we get all the questions. If you leave them on our Spotify as a comment, I will not remember it. If you leave it on YouTube as a comment, I will not remember it. So please come over to our Discord, pucldiscord.com, and you can go ahead and submit your trivia questions. We will probably use them on the show. So without further ado, we're going to give you guys a run for your money here today. I hope you guys
Ooh.
watch the anime because these are the questions we've got. So
All right.
Oh, well, let's
our
go.
first question is our general trivia question, as always. And this one's from the Real EV.
Hey.
Wobbuffet has become one of Jessie's longest Pokemon companions in the anime. How did she obtain Wobbuffet?
Was it at the Princess Day thing?
I'm trying
or was
to remember.
that before Gen 2?
Did they even have
Princess Day?
I'm trying to remember. It was a prize, was it? I feel like she won it. Yeah, she won it in a competition, but I can't remember what was that competition.
Yeah, let's say she won it.
Yeah,
she's a winner.
She won it. Unfortunately, that's incorrect. She actually traded her Lickitung for it. Oh, no, I'm looking at this.
The Lickitung, I do vaguely remember.
I completely forgot about Lickitung.
Yeah.
That was in the Princess Day.
I just realized we didn't show any of this, but that's fine. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is the answer.
Yeah.
I apologize for your
loss of a point. I don't want to think of it as being traded because Wobbuffet deserves better than that. That's not how I want to remember Wobbuffet.
Absolutely. You're correct, though. All right. Well, your next question is another general trivia question. And it comes to you from Toganik on our Discord server.
Okay.
Who is the only gym leader before Generation 7 who never appeared in the main anime?
Never.
Yes. This is any gym leader that's appeared in the games ever. Before Generation 7.
What about Sharon? Because he showed up in Black 2, White 2 as a gym leader. No, there's an episode with him starting his gym. Never mind. Who wasn't at their gym?
It might have to. Well, no, I shouldn't say. I'm not going to.
Olive Kanto was there, right? Yeah. I mean, Giovanni wasn't at the gym, but we've seen him.
So this is a gym leader that was in the game, but not in the show.
Yes.
That's wild.
It's not Ramos.
It's not Ramos.
Ramos had a fight. Ramos had his whole.
Yeah.
Who is that? Who's Ramos?
Oh my God! Did we ever see Koga's daughter? I think we did.
Yeah,
right?
Janine, she's there.
When was Janine in the anime?
Wasn't Janine in the anime? She's like traveling in Johto and stuff. Maybe it is Janine.
I don't think that was actually Janine. I think it was just Ninja Girl from the gym.
You're right. It was a generic person, so it's probably Janine.
It is Janine, right? Then
let's go with Janine. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Janine.
Janine is correct. That is 1 point. You guys are 1 for 2. All right. Your next entry is your next question is your Pokedex entry, as always. Remember, if you get it right on the first time, you get 2 points. 1 point if you get it on the second one. The way it works now is you give me an answer and then you get a chance to switch it, like door number 1, door number 2, your choice.
Oh, I hate that.
I know, it's terrible.
It's gonna mess me up.
All right, so this entry this week comes from Jared Cornelius fan. And the entry this week is from the first one is from Pokemon Omega Ruby, and it says, "This Pokemon courageously stands its ground against its foes, however strong they may be. This gutsy Pokemon will remain defiant even after a loss. On the other hand, it cries loudly if it becomes hungry." Who's that Pokemon?
That sounds... I have 2 Pokemon in mind. One is a dog, which I think feels like it might be like Growlithe or Growlithe adjacent. And the other one is Scraggy.
I wonder if it's Scrappy. Yeah. Scraggy.
Scraggy. Is that what you want to lock in for that?
I'm feeling more Scraggy for the first one.
Yeah. Do you want to stay with that and then we'll switch it on the next?
We can go to the next one
sense?
and then you can make that decision.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's see where we are and we can...
All right.
change.
Well, your next entry comes to you from Pokemon Heart Gold. So maybe rethink the Scraggy thing. But
Yeah.
you can hold on to that answer if you'd like to risk it. But when it gets cold, they migrate, flying over 180 miles a day. It hunts for tasty prey. That's what Scraggy you're known for, I think.
Yeah, flying. They
in
migrate.
Pokemon Heart Gold.
They just stop flapping their skin.
Well, now I'm thinking it's maybe Talo or Swellow.
Yeah, Talo is Swallow. Yep, that's. I was gonna say Pharaoh and Spearow, but yes, you are more correct. I think it is those.
Is that what we're locking in?
But which one? Oh no!
It doesn't matter. If you get the line, I usually count it anyway.
Yay!
Okay. Then
Yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking Talo.
Talo?
Yeah.
It is Talo.
Yeah.
Yay!
It is Talo.
Yeah!
Talo's correct. Talo's exactly correct.
See, Swellow ain't gonna cry.
No.
Swellow grown, but Talo's just, a little bird. It's gonna cry.
Oh, wait. Am I? Okay, there we go. All right. So your next question is your multi-answer question, as always. And we're going to go ahead and jump into this. There are 4 answers here. I was originally because there are 4 answers, and the 4 answers, in my opinion, are kind of difficult to get, except for me because I've asked questions very similar to this multiple times, so I just know the answers innately.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do a rare 4-pointer for you guys. I am going to give you a time limit after a point, though, just because I don't know how easily you're going to get all 4. I think you'll probably get like 3, but all 4 I think is hard. So every answer you give me, you get a point. So we're going to go into it. This is from Icon Has Battle Meow on the Discord server. I swear they like come up with the names just so I have to say them at this point. But
Yeah.
Okay. Between generations 1 and 2, there were 4 moves that changed type and were no longer normal type moves. Can you name them? You do, of course, have
That's
the hint.
really hard. This is
Bite.
the last question, right?
No, we
Bite
still have
was
the base stat
normal-
question. We still have the base stat question.
Okay.
Base
Bite
was
for sure.
Bite
'Cause it
first
wasn't-
normal first.
You have to
and then
lock them
dark.
in. You lock them in, you have 3 strikes.
Okay,
Okay.
Bite, yes.
Bite.
Bite is correct. That is 1.
Yeah. Crunch. Did we have crunch? No, before no. It was just
I
bite
want to
and
say
crunch.
yes. I want to say
Yeah, that it was normal on. I don't know if crunch was created afterwards and it was already dark.
Huh. There's
So I
just so
can't-
many Pokemon that I
Yeah.
feel like would have. Maybe they didn't have it as an option yet. That's
Yeah.
flummoxing.
What else?
What
What
about
else? What
Curse?
else? Curse?
What about
Curse seems to be always has been ghost. It's just when normal Pokemon use it, it's different. I don't think it was ever normal.
Do you want to use the hint? You want to use the
Let's
hint?
use the hint.
I think you guys want to use the hint. So you got Bite. That's great. I'll tell you the types that these moves are now.
Okay.
One of them is a ground type move that is actually status. One of them is a fighting type move that I think got culled in Gen 8.
Got what?
Culled.
It's no longer a move.
It's
It
no
doesn't
longer in the
exist.
game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It got culled in Gen 8. I don't think it's there anymore. It's very low power. All
And it
of these
was
are
what-
actually very
what
low
type?
power.
I forgot.
Fighting.
Fighting, okay.
Fighting. And then another one is a flying type move that is shockingly wasn't flying beforehand.
That I
and
think I do remember, and it's
we all-
Razorwind.
we all have used this move several times on very basic Pokemon.
It's either Gust. I think it's Gust. Gust was normal, and then it was flying. Yes, it's Gust. It
You're
has
Let's
locking
go with
in Gust?
Sure.
Gust
Yeah.
is correct. That is 2
Yes.
points.
Okay,
Now you
so
still
we
have the
need a
ground,
fighting type move and a ground type.
Yeah.
and the ground type move is status. The fighting type move is low power.
Sand attack?
Sand attack. Sand attack.
Sand attack was normal before and then ground?
It makes sense because it's attacking with sand. Yeah, sand attack.
Yeah.
We can lock that.
Sand
Yeah,
attack is correct. Yes.
There's
Yep.
very few ground
That
type
is
status
3.
moves. Also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah. And
I'm
I
sorry.
do recall and I do recall a time where sand attack would work on flying.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the last one then is
It's a low power fighting type move.
Ooh,
Machop learned it. Machop learned. I guess all of them learned it.
Chop?
Machop learned.
Chop?
Machop.
Not
No.
Just chop.
Karate chop.
Is that a move?
You want to go with? You could go with. Okay, I'm not gonna give you the answer.
I think it is like karate chop, no, or chop or something like that.
We have.
Wait, are you gonna go with karate chop or are you gonna go with chop?
They're two different moves, right? Damn it.
I think karate chop still exists.
Does it?
Right? Doesn't it?
Does it
not?
I'm looking this up.
I haven't seen it in a while.
I mean, I'm giving it up by looking it up, but like, oh, karate chop wasn't called because like I'm looking at it in Gen. No, this is Gen 7.
Maybe it was.
Generation 8 onwards, karate chop cannot be selected in battle.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's crazy to me. I'm still leaning towards that.
Yeah, I guess so.
You
Yeah.
want to lock in
Karate
karate chop? Karate chop
Or
is
chop, if that's the
karate
word.
chop is correct. There is no move named chop.
No, I was gonna
That's what
say
there should be.
There's no move
Yeah,
named chop.
like,
It got cold in Gen 1. That's what it is.
Yeah. There's no move named chop in the game of Pokemon.
But there was karate chop and cross chop.
But that
Why
gives you
not
all
just
4
chop?
points. So you guys are 6 for 4 now.
Okay.
Bite, Gust, Karate Chop, and Sand Attack are your answers. Yeah. They were all normal type moves that got changed to something else. Crunch was not introduced until like Gen 3, I believe.
No, okay. I
Like everything gets crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So your last question is your base stat question, as always. And I really like this question. I think it's really cute.
I want to see.
From Greenboy218 on the Discord server. What Pokemon that can learn the move Grass Pledge has the highest base stat total?
What Pokemon
I don't know.
learn Grass Pledge has the what?
Grass Pledge has the highest
Total
base stat
stats.
total. Yeah. I thought this was a cute question because Grass Pledge is a move that typically is only learned by starters.
Yeah.
But there is like one Pokemon line that does learn it. That is not a starter.
Wait.
Seth
one
is
line or
like
multiple lines?
Seth is like pounding on the
Wait,
pound-
those are clues that I might not get.
I know Sublime's here though, so
Okay, so Grass Pledge is like that one move that interacts with Water Pledge and Fire
Yeah, and
Pledge.
Fire
that the
Pledge,
starter
yeah.
I'll be tutored.
yep.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that something that isn't a starter learns it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is really shocking. Maybe it's
And
not
it's
your
only the
starter.
grass.
Maybe it's a starter of like a character in a way, you know? It's a partner of a character, like a main character in a Pokemon game. It has a whole arc about getting unlocked.
in a game.
I probably
In a
shouldn't give it
main
away.
Pokemon game?
Yeah. Its potential's unlocked because its trainer like really loves it.
Oh, its potential.
Oh, type null.
That's the one that was thinking.
So which one has the
Technology.
highest base stat total though?
It's
Silvally.
Silvally.
Okay, are we locking in Silvala?
I guess.
Wait a
so,
minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to remember what Silvally is. Is it 95 across the board? It's 95 across the board, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be a
That'd be
legend killer.
940.
So.
It'd
Yeah,
be
that'd
570.
be 940 or 540. 570.
570.
That's higher than most
570.
starters because they're at 530, 535,
Mhm.
thereabouts. So yeah, it must be Silvally. Yeah, it must be Silvally if that gets it.
Yeah, Silvally is correct. Silvally has a base stat total of 570. And then in tied in a 5-way race in second place is Sceptile, Chestnut, Decidueye, Rillaboom, and Meowscarada, all at 530. But yeah, Silvally. We should use this question again next week for Water Pledge and see what happens. See if anybody remembers. But yeah, Silvally is the answer. So that does in fact change up our top and our numbers. I don't know where everybody is, but you guys just got 7 points there. So nothing to sneeze at.
I think last time we checked, that was like second place or third place, something like that.
Well, you're in fourth place. But yeah, the way things are shaking out right now, remember everybody, whoever's in the top 4 is gets to win or gets to go to the Tournament of Champions at the end of the year and compete for a $25 gift card to Outback Steakhouse. Apologies in advance. But so the way it's shaking out right now, we have until November, so this can still be anybody's game. In first place, we have Seth Bilo with 61 points. In second place, we have Claude 9 with 59 points.
Way to go.
In third place, we have R Sigma with 55 points.
You did that, yeah.
In fourth place, Jushiro with 51.
Good job, Jushiro.
Tied for fifth, we have Linian and Sublime at 37.
5 is a very good number. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Good things.
In seventh place, we have Whimsicott with 35. In eighth place, we have Shark Finnegan with 32. And bringing up the rear, we have Bocephus with 25. It's still anybody's game because there's like 6 more months or 4 more months, 5 more months, something like that, until we have to determine our top 4 for the Tournament of Champions to see who gets to go to Outback Steakhouse. With that, though, guys, we're going to kick it on over to Puckle's Pokey Opinion. Welcome to Puckle's Pokey Opinion, the part of the show where you can ask us questions and we answer them, and they're goofy sometimes. Sometimes they're not. Today's not super goofy. Over on the Discord server, Shellman left us a Pokey Opinion to talk about, and I thought it was kind of fun. A very easy question, very simple. Which mainline game battle is your favorite during the story or during the post game? And if you have
which main guy battle,
which main
game, like in one of the main games.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, I'm particularly about it, not like a mechanic, like a specific battle with someone.
No, just a game, like maybe in the story or something like that. I think one of my answers for this would be because I think the world building is like really cool for it, and it made me feel really cool as a kid. Is in Gen 2 because I'm Thatch and I have rose-colored glasses on. And in Gen 2, when you get to Mahogany Town and you do the battles with like Lance and stuff like that, I think it's cooler in Heart Gold Soul Silver because they're actually double battles with Lance.
Right.
But that was kind of the vibe they were going for in Gen 2, is like you were hanging out with Lance and you were beating on people, and it was really cool because you remember Lance from the Elite Four beforehand. Right. And you're like going to town, like you're doing Elite Four business with Lance. And I just thought that was so cool, like wailing on Team Rocket with Lance in Mahogany Town. So
it is very fun. I thought you were going to say the battle with Red at the end.
No. That one I don't like. A lot of people feel like they have a lot of feelings about that battle, and I think that's fine for them. I don't, because like I'm just like, oh, that's me. Okay. That's kind of how
epic.
Yeah, I mean. I understand why people like it. You know what I mean?
It's like when you're playing D&D and the dungeon master decides to use characters from a previous campaign. Yeah. From a previous campaign, and they make a cameo on your new campaign. It's like, oh, awesome, the old characters. I feel that gives that encounter and mount victory, right? Where was it? I even forgot where we found
Silver.
him.
It's Mount Silver.
Mount Silver. At the top, he doesn't say a word. He just turns around and he fights. I feel it's very epic. I, as a kid, was blown by that fight. Just because of how epic it felt. It felt like, okay, this is awesome. I am basically fighting with the protagonist of the first game. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's fine. Is that your favorite? Is that your answer, Jushiro?
No. Oh, not mine.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Is that your answer though, Jushiro? Is it Lance or not Lance, but Red?
I had another one in mind, but I don't think it counts as a battle because it's more like
what is it?
An event when all the gym leaders came to help you in Black and White.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool though. Yeah, that was an epic moment though. Like
that was an epic moment. I don't know if it counts as a battle. right?
I get this.
This conversation could be whatever we want it to be. You know what I mean?
Okay, then that's my actual favorite. When
right
I got
that,
so pumped when all the gym leaders came to help you out, because it's like, number one, the first time the gym leaders more than one at a time has something to do in the story that is not just being a gym leader, and it was just such an epic battle. It really gave that really, like, the good guys, like very Harry Potter, right? The good wizards against the bad wizards kind of thing. And I've been chasing that high ever since.
Weren't you like in your mid-20s when that happened?
Yeah, I know.
It was really good.
That's how good it was. I was a grown-ass man playing a DS, and I was blown away because all the little sprites of the gym leaders came in to help me. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
I'm sitting here thinking, I'm sitting here like genuinely like thinking like, how old were we? That thing wasn't that long ago, which we shouldn't think about how long ago it was. But
right, if you think too much of it, I grow more white hairs by the time. So let's just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. All right. What about you, Sublime?
For me, it would be Arvin. It's the last Arvin battle.
Oh, okay.
Because I will say, going through Scarlet and Violet the first time, that was the first of the 3 like main objectives that I completed. Mm-hmm. And I was probably under-leveled for the fight when it comes to...
no, you can be, and you just get pounded.
Yes, and I'm like, I had to use so many items, and I could not tell you or remember the last time I had to like spam through all of my healing items just to
Wow.
And of course, the Arvin storyline is so good and so strong.
Yeah, it is.
It was definitely
though.
a capstone and a highlight of that game for me. Other highlights include I thought when you mentioned Mahogany, when you mentioned Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or Gold rather, I thought you were going to talk about the EV trainers in Ecruteak City.
Well, they changed them for Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and I think they made them much more memorable. Because in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you have to like do that little challenge before you go fight Ho-Oh or Lugia.
Yeah, and that's really cool the way they did it. It's a fun
that is part of the remake and not actually part of the original game. It might be a Crystal edition, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But like, it's definitely not in like the base game.
I also always liked that your battles against N would have them using whatever Pokemon were available nearby.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch, but
no, my favorite part about that is actually when you connect, you can like memory link your Black and White game to your Black 2 White 2 game. And you can catch the Pokemon that he used.
N's Pokemon, yeah. You can catch N's Pokemon.
You'd catch them and they have OTN.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
It was such a I feel so bad because like at the time we were like so bummed at this whole soft reboot concept. And then we all kind of pooped on it a little bit. But honestly, like looking back, Black and White 2 had so many awesome like labors of love in it. That like details that had no right existing. Yeah. And the
end game was so good. The end game for Black and White 2 was excellent. And between the World Championship, what was it called?
Oh, the Pokemon World Championships. That's what it was called.
The Pokemon World Champion and
you're right.
The tree
those
and
are solid.
The Black City and the White Tree. Just great, all in all, great features.
Yeah. I think it's great. But yeah, I think that's our opinion. I don't know if you guys have more things to add, but we would love to know what you guys think. What's your most memorable battle or most impactful battle from a previous Pokemon game? You can answer that or give us your top 5, bottom 5. I know which one you're going to choose, but yeah.
Someone's
we'd love to hear from
both.
you guys. Someone will, and we probably won't read it because it'll be too long.
It'll be too long. Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So we're going to kick it on over now, guys, to our mailbag. Welcome to the mailbag. Our mailbag is the part of the show where you can email us at puclpodcast@gmail.com. You could, of course, answer the mailbag question, the pokey opinion, anything we will probably read on the show. So send those in, and then we read 2 to 3 of them every week. But yeah, before I move on, though, this part of the show is sponsored by our fictional energy drink, Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves!
And if you have a good email, we'll give you the Green Taurus badge on the server. You can hang out. They're actually talking in there about a lot of things now on that channel. We used to just say hooves in there. We're not doing that anymore, I guess. We're having like full-on conversations. So definitely come on over. If you get the badge, we can let you into that part of the server. With that though, guys, let's get into it. But before we get to the emails, I want to do our YouTube comment of the week. And our YouTube comment of the week is from Light Abhishek, Lyteabhishek.
You know who you are.
You know who you are, because I responded to you on YouTube anyway. And they say, I was expecting you guys to talk about Beast of Reincarnation and how it would impact the Pokemon development going further in a good way. And I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do a whole episode on it. Maybe we should. But my very quick, we're filling the mailbag for 2 minutes thought is one, Game Freak's other projects. This is a Project Gear video game. They have like this other development studio because they've done a bajillion other video games that people don't play. And Beast of Reincarnation is this really cool Monster Hunter-ish looking game that they announced the other week. It's actually not a lot of it's not done in studio. It's actually outsourced typically for a Project Gear game. Okay. So it's not really Game Freak doing it, if that makes sense. So I don't know how much of that will actually impact Pokemon. It certainly won't impact the development of any Pokemon games. If it does well, I mean, Game Freaks are kind of always chasing like the next Pokemon. And I think that it's probably, I mean, that's what they're trying to do here. Like, let's make another Pokemon franchise that will earn millions of dollars like Pokemon does, but it doesn't also get partnered with Nintendo and get partnered with with creatures, right? They want the 100% profit share in that.
As they always do. I mean, companies.
Yeah. So that's what Game Freak does. But I mean, I'm certainly desensitized to it because the number of times I've seen, is Game Freak's new game gonna make Pokemon irrelevant? I've seen it so many times in like the past 20 years, and it never happens.
The worry is though that they would, because there's this experience that I can compare it to in wrestling. Mm-hmm. So wrestling, all these wrestlers have amazing entrances with music, and we all remember from right. So, but for a couple of years back, they hired a company called Rebel something. I don't recall really the name. But the point is that every single song that they put up for wrestlers is garbage. Like the most generic rock sounding, like, oh my God, they took this from one of those free to use websites or stuff like that, because they're always so generic and unmemorable, which for a wrestler is a big deal, because you want, as soon as that music starts, you want to know, you want to get that finish. Like when Stone Cold came in and you heard that glass break, you knew it was Stone Cold, and it kind of lacking like that. And it's gotten so bad that last week in one of their shows, that the public started saying fire that company, fire, like screaming on air.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's that unliked. However, they will not change it or fire them because Rebel gives them 100% of ownership of the songs, and that's all they care about. It's the fact that they don't want to have to pay royalties to other companies or artists for those songs. They rather have crappy songs that they own. And
this isn't what's going to happen. That's not going to happen here. It doesn't happen. It hasn't happened in the past. I mean, Little Town Hero didn't succeed. Tembo, the elephant, didn't do well. Unfortunately for Ken Sugimori, Pulseman didn't do well. I can list like Harmonite didn't do well. I can just list so many games. Drill Dozer didn't do well, except it's actually a really fun game. But there's so many Game Freak games that like just haven't done well. And so I'm holding my breath. Like, I hope it does well, because maybe it could drive them to like implement some of that stuff into Pokemon, or maybe they feel like the stress is let off of them and they can feel like they can take a breath and push back against Nintendo a little bit, who probably is driving this release cycle, right?
Well, yeah, you know it.
So maybe it gives them some leverage or something like that. I like the success of this game could only be good for Pokemon, in my opinion. But yeah, well, we'll see how it is. I'm sure it'll come out and people will be like, wow, this was not as good as the trailer looked. And it's going to be weird. But yeah, but on to the mailbag. Last week we talked about honestly, I forget. I just came off a plane, like I said, so I don't really remember. But I do know that you only answered the Pokey Opinion, where we made Pokemon up, and you guys decided to make up your own Pokemon. So
we love that.
I don't know who wants to go first. I believe Sublime, you've got Nico today. If you want to start with Nico.
Hey, Puckle, it's Nico again. I love making wild speculations about upcoming Pokemon games, so I wrote an 800-word email, but then I realized next week is a holiday. That's right, Tuesday is Bidoof Day. Obviously, in Canada, we get the day off, so I figured I would delete that email and answer the Poke Opinion. The small, timely Canadian twist. Hold on to your bloody Caesars, because I'm designing a Canadian Pokemon. First of all, let it be known as a Canadian, I would never want a Canadian region. Everything is far apart, the weather makes traveling awful, and winters are dismal. Plus, there's not enough fire types. I plan to get away from these things, Sinnoh. With that all out of the way, I can think of a few good Pokemon that would fit a Canadian region, but let's just focus on one. Our dollar's titular bird, the common loon.
Oh, the loony.
Loons are strange birds. Yeah, they're real loony. They may be known for their impressive diving capabilities or their haunting calls. They have a beautiful checkerboard-like pattern and striking red eyes. You know, they look like loons, the perfect Canadian Pokemon. But some people might not know their faults. These birds are helpless on land. They can't take off or land without a large enough lake. Their feet are so far back they need to drag their boat-like bodies around. With this in mind, I would think it would be interesting if this wasn't a flying type. It would obviously be a water type, but it should be a weaker to ground types. Think about this, an electric water type, weak to ground, powerful against fish, its natural prey, but it has an ability that gives the Pokemon levitate if it uses a water type move. Or just some select moves like Surf.
Weird.
For a name, you might want to spell these. Maybe Lumen, Loomen, like Lumen if it glows, or Hydro to reference our mini jams.
I like Lumen. I like Lumen.
I like, yeah.
Lumen's pretty good.
Or just Loon, Moon in French. Okay, this is getting long. I hope everybody has a safe for July 1st. Happy Bidoof Day, Puckle. Regards, Nico.
And he tells me that it's cute. It's adorable that I'm so confident about regionals not being in PLZA. It would only be offensive if I was not correct.
All will be revealed on PLZA.
I am 95% sure I am correct. That is how sure I am.
I mean, there's that 5%.
There is 5%. All right, Jushiro, we got one more email, and it's from Squid this week. I will let you answer that one.
Of course, and he says, "Hey, Puckleites. This week's Pucky Opinion had me rushing to my old sketchbooks, digging through the old times like the wise scribes of old in search of secrets most arcane. The idea of a custom Pokemon is something we've all thought about as fans, and mine was thrust into the forefront of my brain at the mention of electric fairies. Growing up in a family of German immigrants, I was opposed to many childhood classics from Europe. I was exposed to many childhood classics from Europe.
German fairy tales are terrifying, by the way.
All fairy tales are terrifying.
No. Like German ones particularly, because like Germans are such straightforward people to begin with that like the lessons are just like very like it escalates. It goes from 0 to 100 very quickly. Like,
yeah. Well, the purpose of stories back in the day and why they were created was for warnings, is to warn you, hey, don't go to forest. There's wolves. You know,
it's like, but like there's one where like a kid is sucking his thumb and they want the kid to stop sucking his thumb. And so instead of like it's that like we tried this and then it failed, and then we tried this and then it failed. It went straight to we cut his thumbs off. He can't do it anymore now. And it's just like what? Okay.
Okay, it says none stuck with me, however. Like Tove Janssen's classic book series Moonmin Troll. That's MOOMINTROLL. So Moonmin Troll. And none of these stories stuck with me like the Moonmins and the Great Flood, in which we are introduced to the Hattifatteners. Fatteners. That's some weird names.
Fatteners, yeah.
Yeah. They so he provided a picture,
a nice image.
sketch.
If you're watching the video version, it's there.
Yeah. It gives me a very Dr. Seuss vibe.
It's like, yeah, I would agree with that. It's like Dr. Seuss crossed with Wiglet.
Yeah, it's a Dr. Seuss Wiglet. That's what it is. Yep.
He says these little guys are small, tube-like critters that, when gathered together in massive swarms, generate a massive electric storm and causes machines, compasses, and computers to go haywire. Litter is none other than they are super mysterious and are drawn to storms. The idea of a 3-stage line, with stage 1 being little critter fairy, a colony of 3 or 4 of them akin to a mousehold.
Okay, that's cute.
Stage 2 fairy electric, and a towering colony of them that forms a giant akin to wishy-washy, a stage 3 fairy electric.
You could just pull like a wishy-washy and just like have the one
just
version.
Make it the one. Yeah.
And then it has a form where it turns into the big one, right?
Yeah. And then it's just an idea, right? It's just the idea that I had kicking around for a good while now, and it evolved with each new generation. Cheers, Squid. Nice.
Well, thank you, Squid. Well, thank you. I don't know if either of them don't have the green Tauros badge. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know either. I would give one to Squid though.
Just in case, give it to both.
Both get it! Yay! Nico definitely. Nico definitely has it.
Well then,
and
yeah.
So yeah, maybe Squid gets it. Yay!
Yeah. Whoever don't have it gets it.
Yeah. But yeah, if you would like to email us next week though with your answer to our questions at puclpodcast@gmail.com, we would love to hear from you. And then if you want to keep up with us throughout the week, the best way to do so is to come to our Discord server at pucldiscord.com, where you can come chat, hang out with us, talk about Pokemon. It's a good time. Or crackers or something else. I don't know. We talk about charcuterie sometimes. And then, of course, you can follow us on social media over at Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Twitter. You can also follow us over at Twitch at twitch.tv/thepuclpodcast, where I stream live every Wednesday. Also on YouTube at youtube.com/puclpodcast, where the video podcasts are also posted. And if you want to help support the show, you can go over to our Patreon at patreon.com/puclpodcast, as well as going to Troll and Toad at trollandtoad.com and using code PucklePod5 for 5% off at checkout if you want to try to get some shiny cardboard, like I do all the time. But yeah, with that, guys, I have been Trainer Thatch.
I continue to be Sublime.
And some say I'm Jushiro.
Here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.